Then let me invite Mr. Rudra from PHASE Nepal. Yes, thank you.
Thank
Yes.
you. Sorry.
Oh, thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. From Bangkok, I would like to take you to the Himalaya, mountainous country, the top of the world. You might have heard some of the things about it. Myself, Rudra Neupane. You may call it Rudra or Neupane. I represent PHASE Nepal. PHASE Nepal is an NGO led by Nepalis. It was established in 2006. And it has been working in different areas. I'll talk later. Welcome to you all in this presentation. I hope this will be interesting for you. I'll talk a bit about Nepal, maybe interesting for you to know. I'll talk a bit about PHASE Nepal, what it is, what does it do, and then, of course, I'll talk about its education program. Okay. Nepal is a small mountainous country located in between giant Asian economies, India and China. Though it's small, it carries very long history. It is the Buddha, may be interesting place for those who have faith in Buddhism. It has long range of Himalaya, including the Mount Everest. That may be interesting for the people who have interest in seeing nature, natural beauty, and adventure. And it has beautiful nature, mountains, rolling terrain, and also we have the plains. And we have abundant water resources, but still we face up to 12 hours of load shedding. And last week we had very good news that the load shedding, power cut, was reduced from 17 hours to 12 hours, and we were very happy. We recently have promulgated constitution after the decade-long civil war or Maoist insurgency or whatever you call it, and about a decade-long debate at the parliament. But immediately after the promulgation of constitution, we came across the blockade of the trade and transit routes, and we faced about a 6-month-long fuel crisis because we have to depend on the supplies from through the India. Now the situation has improved a bit. As you know, Nepal is though we have these beautiful things behind, we still are one of the poor economy in the world. Our HDI rank is 145, and that is among the lowest in the South Asian region. That is because our people, nearly slightly more than 57% of our population are just literate. And among male and female literacy is far lower. It's near to 43%. Our people have many of our people have not completed primary level of education. You can see just 3.3 years of schooling is the average, and females have gone only slightly more than 2 years. So to address some of those issues, PHASE Nepal was established in 2006 with a small group of people, like-minded people, who have commitment to support the people in rural, remote areas of Nepal to get out of the poverty with 3 major pillar programs, that is community health, education, and livelihoods. That 3 programs were tailored to empower communities. And recently, after the last year's earthquake that devastated communities, and that take away our intervention of the past 1 decade, and we have now relief and reconstruction program as well. These are our program areas. The yellow boxes shows political division of the country. These are 75, we call it districts, and we work in very remote areas of those districts as well, which have very low indicators, very low development indicators. As I mentioned before, project areas are very remote. Some of them are few hours walking distance right now, and others are up to 5 or 6 days on foot, only walking is possible, no other means of transport is available unless you have a lot of money to fly with the choppers. The schools are poorly supported. They have very poor infrastructures, and we have our teachers don't like to stay in those remote rural communities with very basic living. People have very traditional practices. They would prefer sending their children to the monasteries. I'm not going to talk about which one is better, but they prefer to send their children to the monasteries for the religious teaching rather than sending them to the school. There are a number of reasons for not sending to the schools. Often those who enroll into the school, they have the language barriers. Our country is very small, but we have number of ethnic groups, and they speak different languages, and it is very difficult for some of the communities to speak mainstream Nepali language. And most of our parent generation don't have education. They didn't have chance to go to the school. They didn't have completed basic primary school. One of our project area in Sindhupalchok, less than 60% have completed primary education, and another one in Chumchet, none of them completed primary education. Our demography of our population in the area is more or less homogeneous. This is in the Gorkha, this is high mountainous communities, so they are mostly, we call Sherpas. They live in high mountains. And in Hagam, they are ethnic minorities, and they are called Tamang. And both of these areas were heavily shattered by the earthquake of last year in April. And schools were damaged, houses were damaged, and other infrastructures also. So to help contribute towards towards the aim of the government to provide education for all, to provide, to reduce the dropout, or to provide education to those who have never enrolled to this school, PHASE has designed its education program, and it has different components. For those who enroll to this school, there is a challenge to retain them for longer and continuation of their education with the schools, so that we have a teacher training program. Yesterday here, Ashley Hager presented about the teachers training program, and with that, we aim to improve teaching and learning environment within the school. We have girls empowerment program. We empower the girls about their rights, about their different aspects, and finally, we have flexible schools. The schools we start for the children who don't have chance to go to the school because of that, maybe because of their locations far from the mainstream schools, or because their parents don't want to send them to the schools. And also we have women's literacy programs also at different places. So we have about the flexible schooling, we have two kinds of programs, mainly the girls empowerment and flexible schooling program. And in the flexible schooling program, we teach accelerated government-approved curriculums. And in the girls empowerment program, they are sensitized with the different awareness programs. And in the flexible schooling programs, we provide infrastructure if they are not existent, like that can be water supply, that can be toilet, or even the school building if that doesn't exist. Or sometimes we need to provide incentives for the students, that may be stationaries or the clothes for them, or midday meal and the like. And to provide teaching, to make the teaching and learning better, we provide teachers if they are teachers, and also the teachers are trained to provide child-centered learning. And another one is we involve parents and advocate them for sending their children to the school, because they generally prefer their children to support them in their household activities or take care of their younger siblings, younger brothers and sisters, or they have to take care of the animals. As of now, we had 5, we call it alternative schools. Here it is flexible schools, but we call them alternative schools. And the five schools we conducted in 5 different communities of Gorkha and Sindhupalchok, and almost 148 students got opportunity to involve there. And that were through the quality teaching, and also included community awareness and the like. Out of those 5, 3 schools already mainstreamed into the government schools. So they are now carrying on the government programs, and these are being replicated as well. Now it's about girls empowerment program. We select local adult women who have completed 12 years of education. We train them about the different issues of child rights, different issues of girls empowerment, and they conduct 24 days girls empowerment workshop in the school. These workshops are run before the school time, and we provide meal for the girls who attend these schools, because they have to come early in the morning. And also they get some material and moral support to fight different kinds of gender-based violence, and to fight different against different social taboos and the like. And these group of students work against social taboos like early marriage or minor marriage or child marriage, whatever you call it. And so as of now, 23 local women empowered as the trainers, and these women empowered more than 400, nearly 500 adolescent girls that they are able to continue their education in the schools, because otherwise they had to leave the school because they had to, their parents forced them to for early marriage, because still there are societies they have the strong social taboos that they have to marry their girl before their first menstruation. It is the age of 13 or 14, like that. So to fight against those kind of things, we need a strong. So out of those schools, some of the kids have shared their experiences. That the one on the top says he or she had to take care of animals or support his parents in the household chores. Now, because of the school, they have been able to learn read and write, and they are now able to speak, read and write Nepali language and even English. So they count it as a good opportunity to improve their lives. The girl at the bottom is is empowered, and she knows about the marriage time, and she is committed to complete her studies before she get married. So she will be helping her communities. So PHASE has started a very small intervention with its own. It would be very difficult to carry on for longer, and it has gradually worked with the government to mainstream its better programs. So for the sustainability, this will be the government's role, and to improve the funding, increase the funding, and continue the programs. And also to have better education in the rural areas, government or anybody else has to increase number of teachers and number of trained teachers, so that they can improve, they can provide teaching and learning at better environments. And if the teachers are trained, if the teachers are of good quality, they will not leave without better payments, better incentives in the remote localities where there are no good schools, no other facilities, etc. And they need the government or any other institutions need to increase the incentives for the teachers. That's what I wanted to say here. Thank you very much. Namaste.